to put people out on the streets like animals was definitely something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Marty says hundreds of JetBlue passengers like himself were told they couldn't stay at the airport in Turks and Caicos when their flight home to Boston was delayed until the next day. His children were exhausted after their flight was already delayed several hours, and he says there were no hotel rooms available on the island that night.
Just a very unsettling, traumatizing experience. You have 3 young kids all looking for you for an answer, a wife looking for you for an answer, and for the first time as a husband and as a father and as a man, I had no idea how I was going to shelter my family for a night.
Brett was on this flight too and says the JetBlue employees at the airport forced them to leave when their flight was delayed.
We just kept saying, where do you want us to go? What are we supposed to do? How are you kicking us to the street like dogs in a foreign country?
Eventually, Marty's travel agent found a small hotel room for his family. Brett found an Airbnb for about $1,000 to squeeze in 10 people.
It was in a horrible, sketchy area. The actual Airbnb itself was okay, but the area was like something out of a horror movie. Wild dogs were chasing the cab as we were driving by, like very sketchy neighborhood, and like kids are freaking out, like what are we gonna do?
The next morning when they got back to the airport, they saw dozens of cots had been brought in for the passengers who couldn't find a place to stay. Their new flight was also delayed another 4 hours. A spokesperson for JetBlue tells us this flight had a significant delay due to heavy air traffic control congestion. The company went on to say in part, "We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience this delay caused and understand this was a frustrating situation. While the delay was created by circumstances beyond JetBlue's control, we understand the impact this disruption had on our customers' plans."
This was far beyond a delay. This was sending people to the streets at the wee hours of the night and asking them to fend for themselves with no solutions.
JetBlue also says it's offering reimbursements for any out-of-pocket expenses their customers had to pay that night. Plus, they're issuing a $200 travel credit. But these customers tell me that's just not enough after this traumatizing experience. I'm Lisa Pappas for your local station, Boston 25 News.